Messi and Ronaldo have now played their last ever World Cup games, and the debate is louder than ever. So did this tournament finally settle it, or just prove it never can be? Messi left with the trophy and the scoring record. Ronaldo left with more goals than anyone who's ever lived. Let's do it properly. Every number, both sides, you decide. You. Start with the cold numbers. 6 World Cups each. The only 2 men in history to play 6. On the World Cup stage, Messi finishes as the all-time leading scorer in the tournament's history, on 19 goals, having broken Miroslav Klose's record this summer. Ronaldo finishes on 11, a Portugal record, but 11 to 19. World Cup trophies, Messi 1 in 2022, Ronaldo none. But zoom out to entire careers and it flips. As of this July, Ronaldo has scored more goals than any human being who has ever played the game, around 976, to Messi's 919. 2 different stories, told by the same 2 players. 2006, both arrive young. Messi a teenager off the bench for Argentina, Ronaldo already starting and carrying Portugal to the semi-finals. 2010, Ronaldo's Portugal go out in the last 16. And here's a detail that matters later. Messi doesn't score at all in that entire tournament. 2014 is Messi's first great near miss. He wins the Golden Ball and drags Argentina all the way to the final in Brazil, before losing to Germany in extra time. Ronaldo's Portugal exit early. 2018, both fall in the round of 16. The parallel careers stopped at the same door. Then 2022, the earthquake. Messi scores 7, assists 3, and lifts the World Cup in Qatar, completing the one thing his career was said to be missing. And 2026, the farewell for both. Messi drags an aging Argentina back to the final and finishes as the tournament's all-time top scorer, but loses to Spain. Ronaldo's Portugal go out in the round of 16, 1-0 to the eventual champions. He leaves as the only player who ever scored at 6 different World Cups, and the greatest goalscorer the sport has produced, but never with this trophy. Here's what a World Cup-only lens misses, and it matters. The World Cup isn't the only international trophy. Look at the full international honors, and it's far closer than 1-0. Messi's international cabinet is staggering. The 2022 World Cup, and around it, back-to-back Copa Americas in 2021 and 2024, plus the 2022 Finalissima against Italy. After a decade of losing finals with Argentina, he ended up winning basically everything there was to win. But Ronaldo is not empty-handed internationally. Not close. He won the European Championship in 2016, Portugal's first ever major trophy, captaining them to it even after going off injured in the final. And he then won the Nations League twice, in 2019 and again in 2025, beating this very Spain side in the final. 3 major international titles for Ronaldo, on top of being, and this is his alone, the all-time leading goalscorer in the history of international football, for any country, ever. So the honest version isn't, Messi has trophies, Ronaldo doesn't. It's, Messi has the one that matters most, and Ronaldo has plenty of his own. And a GOAT debate that stops at international football is only telling you half of it, because these two spent 15 years redefining the club game. The individual verdict leans Messi, 8 Ballon d'Or to 5. Messi has the record. Ronaldo is second all-time, and between them they own 11 of them. Messi's goals per game across his whole career sits at 0.79 to Ronaldo's 0.73, and Messi has created far more, with over 450 career assists to Ronaldo's roughly 300. As a pure creator, it's not close, but Ronaldo has the 2 club counters that never go away. 5 Champions Leagues to Messi's 4, the biggest trophy in club football, and Ronaldo has 1 more. And the portability. Ronaldo won leagues and scored freely in England, Spain and Italy, 3 of the hardest leagues on earth, and kept scoring in Saudi Arabia into his 40s. Messi's club greatness, monumental as it was, lived almost entirely at Barcelona. One man was the most decorated player at one giant club. The other proved it everywhere he went. Which of those impresses you more is, genuinely, a matter of taste. Strip the trophies away for a second, because the numbers describe 2 completely different footballers, and that's really what the argument is about. Messi is the creator, the lowest center of gravity in the game, the impossible close control, the player who didn't just score but conducted, who made the players around him better, and turned defenses inside out with a pass nobody else saw. The assist number isn't a footnote, it's the whole point. He's the artist. Ronaldo is the machine, the athlete who rebuilt himself 3 or 4 times over a career, from a flying winger to the most lethal penalty box finisher of his generation, to a target man in his late 30s. The leap, the power, the relentlessness, the refusal to decline on schedule. He scored nearly 1,000 goals, not by being the most naturally gifted footballer alive, but by being the most relentless. He's the force of will. You're not really arguing about who's better, you're arguing about which kind of greatness moves you more, the genius or the machine, and that's why it never ends. So, honestly, what did 2026 actually change? It cements the international hierarchy at the very top. Messi now has back-to-back World Cup finals, the trophy, and the all-time scoring record on the biggest stage there is. On the World Cup resume specifically, that's a gap Ronaldo, for all his greatness, doesn't close. And it closes the book. No more chapters, both stories complete. What it does not change is almost everything else. It doesn't touch Ronaldo's career goal record, the most anyone has ever scored. It doesn't erase his 5 Champions Leagues, his 3 league dominance, his 3 international trophies, or the record that's his alone, scoring at 6 different World Cups. A single tournament, even the last one, doesn't overturn 20 years. What 2026 did was give Messi the cleanest possible closing argument. It didn't end the trial, which means where you land comes down to one question. What do you value most in football? If it's peak, playmaking, and the ultimate international prize, Messi's case is overwhelming. 8 Ballon d'Or, the 2022 World Cup, the all-time World Cup scoring record. A higher goals per game rate, more assists than almost anyone in history, and the most World Cup appearances ever. If it's longevity, volume, and dominance across the hardest leagues on earth, Ronaldo's is just as real. The most goals any footballer has ever scored, full stop. 5 European Cups, elite output in 3 top leagues across 2 decades, 3 international trophies, and a body that flatly refused to age. So, a real answer in the comments. Did 2026 settle it? Messi, with the trophy, the record and the finals, case closed. Or does Ronaldo's near 1,000 goals, his 5 European Cups, and his 3 league dominance keep it alive forever? And the honest third option nobody wants to pick, that they're simply the 2 greatest who ever lived, and ranking them is a fool's errand. Trophy or longevity, drop your side below. Best arguments get pinned. Whatever side you're on, this was the last time we'll ever watch these 2 at a World Cup. 2 decades, 12 tournaments between them, 13 Ballon d'Or, nearly 1,900 career goals, and a rivalry that made everyone who watched football luckier for it. We will not see 2 at once like that again. Subscribe for more breakdowns, and tell us below where you land. Pitchside FC. Pick a side.